Here we are, YouTube fans, gardening with Vincenzo, and we're still doing some indoor gardening. And today, what I want to do is I want to plant some of these. It's called Oregon Spring, and it's a pretty early variety, and it has a 58-day maturity on it. So what we're going to do is we're going to continue right here on my new indoor growing space. Glad to see everybody again. And just in this little space right here, we've got 24 peppers, 20 multi-impatiens, and now I'm going to put 8 of these Oregon Spring tomatoes, and we're going to start them. Again, it's a 7 to 10 day. The pressed fiber pots, which I reuse over and over and over again. These are old ones. I've had these for probably 5 seasons. We've got our strawberries and our impatiens planted in here. And now what we're going to do is we're going to put a couple of tomato seeds in each one of these fiber planters. I'm going to put at least 2 in there. This is about the earliest tomato that I have run across as far as maturity dates. And I thought that was pretty special. I only have 1 pack of these that I was able to go and obtain. The soil's been warmed. It's already been moistened. And what I'm going to do is make the depression with my little, just make a depression in the moistened soil and add my couple of tomato seeds. And depending on how many come up, I'll actually thin them down. If I get more than 1 or 2, then we'll have more 1 or 2. I brought some extra pots up so they stay warm because it's still relatively cool out there. Although I was down in my greenhouse and I just happened to see that my strawberries have awakened again already, which was kind of fun to see. And we're supposed to have a whole week of 50 plus degrees as the highs, but the lows unfortunately are still down there in the 20s and 30s. So we haven't started in there. So again, I still have my whole bucket of my own soil mix. We've used warm water. And when I say warmed water, I mean room temperature water. Because usually your hot water, if you use that, is loaded with iron. And it doesn't necessarily do too well for your seedlings. If you have distilled water, that might be okay. If you have city water, you probably really should do a distilled because you have a lot of chlorine and fluorides and all those unmetabolized medications in the water, which may or may not be conducive to good health for your plants as well as yourself. So these have been moistened. They're already warmed up. The soil is warmed up. I've made the indentation. We've put a little bit of soil on the top. And then what I'll do is I'll just go and spray these with my water bottle. For myself, my water is charcoal filtered coming in through the main. I have a pure filter on my water up in the kitchen, which I use for everything. My water bottle is double filtered, and I also have a softener system set up in there too. So I always feel better. I know that my water's probably in pretty good shape. I think a lot of the problems that are associated inner city is because of the the unfiltered metabolized medications that everyone's on. They take the affluent out and they put enough chlorine in there to kill the obvious bacteria, but they do nothing as far as taking out the medical compounds from the metabolized medicine. So maybe something to consider. You know, you may want to get a pure filter on your spigot. People say, oh, the water tastes funny. No, good water doesn't taste like anything. It tastes like water. You know, there's no flavor to it. You have to add your own flavors to the water to make it water. All right, anyway, there's another quick update here. We've got, 20 and 12. We got 42 and 12. That's 60. And now we have 3, 6, 8, 68. And another 10 strawberries. That's almost 80 plants. Plus, I know we're going to get a lot of impatiens up in here because there was quite a lot of seed that I put in there. So just in this little spot right here, there might be 100 plants just in this little spot. Now, I have a lot of area out there to plant, and when I get into my greenhouse, I load that thing. I leave myself a skinny walkway to walk through and to get to my hose inside, which is on a wheel, so that I can water everything. And it's a pretty efficient, a pretty in-depth greenhouse. It's my favorite place to be in the springtime, except when the flowers and everything start blooming and I'm running around digging things up, transplanting. Fortunately, with the great weather that we've had in Zone 6A here, Middlesex Township, Valencia, PA, I've been able to get a lot of things done that I normally wouldn't have gotten done until the early spring when we warmed up a little bit. So I'm kind of ahead of the game this year. I'm very happy to do it. This is what I do. It's what fulfills me. I have a passion for it. In my opinion, it's nature's miracle, and it's a healthier lifestyle. I'm home and hearth, and I really try to stay away from the hate, the hype, and the hysteria. So remember, gardening with Vincenzo, we can save this planet 1 yard at a time, beginning with your own. You are what you eat. Fresh is always best. It doesn't get any fresher than fresh picked. Grow as a person. Plant a garden. All right, be safe out there.